Daddy Gang, it is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy.
Megan Moroney, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thank you.
I am so happy you're here. I can already tell this is going to be a disaster in the best way.
I know. I'm like high-key terrified.
Okay, so you're OG Daddy Gang.
OG Daddy Gang.
Let's just talk about that for a minute because I do think that changes the vibe of an interview, right?
It does. Like, I was a junior in college walking around the University of Georgia with my Block Him hoodie. It was the black one with pink writing.
So good.
I had my pink Unwell hat on, just being an absolute menace. A man would look at me the wrong way and I'm like, blocked.
Honestly, I think that says so much about you. I already feel like we're best friends. I already know the energy is going to be fabulous today. Congratulations. Like,
Thank you.
You are everywhere in the best way. You're so fucking talented. You deserve all the success and everything that has come your way. Like, it's so cool to see a woman in your position rise so quickly and it just all happened. Your new album is called Am I Okay? So obviously I have to say, like, are you okay? How are we doing today, Megan? What is going on?
We are more than okay.
We are.
This has been like the best week ever. So I'm so okay. But valid question. If you've listened to the album, it's like, dude, is she okay?
I like that you really write from like the personal perspective and you give a lot of details about your life and your love life specifically because obviously the tea is hot and I love the tea. So I'm like, yes, Megan, give it. You call yourself an emo cowgirl. What does that mean? Can you explain it to us?
So, emotional cowgirl, not to be confused with goth cowgirl. I get a lot of questions about those two.
Because you're not giving goth.
I'm not giving goth. We're giving pink sparkles, like over the top, not goth, but
Right.
emotional. I am probably the most emotional, sensitive person ever.
When is
So.
the last time you cried over a guy?
A few months ago.
I thought you were going to say a few minutes ago.
Oh, no. Girlfriend, we are good.
We are
But
good.
A few months ago, yeah. I was just, I was having a breakdown over a loser, but.
I mean, isn't it so sad when you waste your tears on a loser and then
Oh my God.
hindsight
And, yeah.
is 2020?
And then like you think of your mental state and you're like, girlfriend. But like you have to have those moments. Like you have to go through it and then
For sure.
you come out on the other side and you're better.
And then
but-
the best is when you look back and you're like, yes, was it embarrassing? I cried. Like, not as bad as it, like, he's such a fucking loser. Like, I don't care as much anymore. And you have
Right.
perspective.
Right.
But in the moment, it hurts.
It does hurt in the moment, but we got some good songs out of it.
Okay, so let's talk about you. Obviously, are a country singer. Where were you born and raised? Like, take me back to your hometown and what growing up was like.
So I was born in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
I grew up in Douglasville, Georgia, which is west of Atlanta. And I feel like for 22, 23 years of my life, I grew up very normal. Like this all just changed. So yeah, I mean, I grew up playing guitar with my dad and my brother. They taught me how to play guitar. I was a cheerleader in high school. I also did musical theater though. So like,
Yeah.
you can imagine the
Yeah.
vibes were a little weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll be honest.
Those don't go together.
So yeah, I hurt my knee cheerleading though my junior year. I was in a wheelchair for 2 months. I have like a gnarly scar on my knee that
You can
I
show
will
me
show you
later.
later.
Okay. You're like
But,
taking your pants off already. I'm like, babe, we're 5 minutes in. Honestly, let it rip.
Exactly. But I was in a wheelchair, so while I had nothing to do, I really learned how to play guitar. My dad taught me, and it was only for fun though. Like, you know, after school and on the weekends, my dad and I loved country music growing up. I've always loved country music. So me and my dad would just sing together. If my brother was in town, we'd do 3-part harmonies. It was just fun. And I never thought that I would have a career out of it though. It was always just for fun because where I'm from, you kind of do what your parents do when you grow up, you know, and my mom was an accountant. So I understood accounting. So I was like, maybe I'm supposed to be doing taxes. I'll get to college and figure it out. So that was my mindset. So yeah, I feel like I had a very normal upbringing. Music was only just like a side thing.
But I feel like what we see, sadly, but also positive for those that have this kind of like rise, like you, was like, if you get to have a normal childhood, you have the best chance of keeping your shit together and not losing your mind and like going through it. Because people at a young age, it's like important to have your formative years. If you can have normalcy and like stability and not people like taking photos of you, as much as we all think
100%.
at a young age that would be so cool, that's a lot to put a young
Right.
kid through. And then it's almost like in their 20s and 30s, they want to like go back and relive like a childhood and like recreate what they wish they had. You had a normal life. So you're now like
Yes.
coming into this and like it seems like you're just like a normal girl in the best way that like went to college and had pretty normal life experiences. You just mentioned your brother. I'm curious, growing up, like were your brothers super protective with boys? Like what was the vibe in the house?
So my oldest brother that plays guitar, he is about 15 years older than me, I think.
Okay.
And so I didn't grow up with him, but my other brother is 2 years older than me.
Same. My brother's 2 years older than me.
He is like this sweet angel. Like I could not ask for a better brother. So he was never like the brother that was like cussing my boyfriends out.
Mhm.
But he's definitely protective. I dated his best friend. That was my first boyfriend.
Wait, I love how I'm like, was he like protective and like did he scare boys away? Meanwhile, you're like, no, I ruined his life. I dated his best friend.
Yeah, they're not friends anymore.
Megan.
Yeah, that I wouldn't go back and do that again.
Wait, can you tell me the story? What happened?
So it was actually like really weird looking back. I was in 8th grade and he was a sophomore going to be a junior. So
Yeah.
I was about to be a freshman though. So he was hot and on the baseball team and I started like I don't even know how we started talking. I think we started texting or something. He became my first like serious boyfriend. We dated for 2.5 years. He shattered my heart because when it was time for him to go to college, he like made up some lie and like broke up with me and I was distraught. Like I had my mom had to sleep with me every night for like a month.
You know what's crazy is like when you get older, I still probably would want my mom to sleep with me when I'm crying. But since we don't live together, like I'm like, if the proximity was there, would I still
Right.
call my mom when I was heartbroken? Yes. If she would be in my bed, I would even like that more and like sob all night. I'm dead that was then your brother's best friend. Like,
Yeah.
and he was like chill in the house about it.
Well, my brother is one of those things where he was like, well, he's making her happy, so I'm not gonna
Your
say
brother
anything.
sounds so
I know he's
nice.
like the sweetest angel. But yeah, that didn't end well.
Okay, because I know then the story doesn't it go like then you wanted to go to the same college as him?
Yes. So me and my brother were like very close growing up. Like I wanted to be like I wore my brother's clothes growing up.
Yes.
He played baseball, so I played baseball. I wasn't on the softball team. I wanted to be like my brother.
God.
So when he went to the University of Georgia, and my brother's a smart one.
Okay.
Not that I'm not smart, but my brother is like he never had to study for tests. He
Oh.
graduated with like a 4.0. I'm just like
Like give
God
me a
has
couple brain
favor.
cells.
Like Miranda Lambert has a song that says my brother got the brains of the family, so I thought I'd learn to sing. And I'm like, I resonated with that lyric so hard as a young child.
You're doing fine.
But I
You're doing
followed him
fine.
to UGA. Yeah. So when I was a freshman, he was a senior. Like he did my laundry for me. It was a perfect scenario. I lived in the dorms, which were crusty as hell.
Oh my
He
God.
had a house, so we would have like pizza nights once a week. It was like very wholesome.
Okay, wait, back to high school before we get to college. What were you like in high school?
I feel like I was very much a relationship girl.
Mhm.
I had that boyfriend for 2 years, and then my second half of high school, I also had a boyfriend. So I feel like I was a cheerleader too, but I was also in musical theater. So I feel like I was friends with everyone, but I didn't feel like I really belonged in high school.
I was gonna say, like, if I walked into your cafeteria, what clique am I seeing you with?
Maybe with the cheerleaders, but like on that very end,
So-
seat.
Stop. Because then, like, your theater girls are over
I know.
there, and you're like,
well, it
I
was like
love
the
you.
theater girls were like, should we trust her? She's a cheerleader. And then the cheerleaders were like, I did not know who I was in high school. I would not say I peaked in high school.
Okay, hold on. Did I read though that then you thought about going and following your high school boyfriend to college? Megan?
Did. I am
Megan?
a simp, dude. Dude. If he said go to this college for me, I would have been like, babe, I got you. I will absolutely rearrange my life for you. Not anymore. Not anymore.
No,
Not anymore.
we're reformed.
Not anymore. We're recovered.
Right. But okay, when you were simping, were you guys the same age? This is not your brother's
Yeah.
best friend. This is a new boyfriend.
This is a new boyfriend. The day I got into UGA, I was like, see ya.
You're like breaking
I
up
was
with
like,
you.
love you so much. Not really. Gotta go.
That's so crazy. Like I remember I had a high school boyfriend, and when I got to Boston, I was convinced I was gonna stay with him. I'm like, we're gonna make it work long distance. The minute I got on campus and saw like
Dude,
the
yeah.
junior boys, I was literally like, peace. Like
Dude, and
literally
you
gone.
get to UGA and there's guys that are like 6'5" there, and you're like, oh my God.
You literally don't even remember your ex-boyfriend's
And
name.
it was
You're
like, it was so fun. Like, it was so much fun.
Okay, you're in a sorority.
I was.
And like, I am from the Northeast. I went to school in Boston. Like, I don't, and I was an athlete, so I don't understand sorority life whatsoever. You need to like walk me through being in Georgia and being in a sorority. I feel like that is like the creme de la creme of like crazy sorority life. Tell me everything. Like, what was the best? What was the worst parts of it?
It was insane, and I don't regret it. I think that being in KD, actually, I was a Kappa Delta,
Okay.
and I wasn't necessarily involved in everything. Like, I wasn't like planning it. Like, I would go to what I had to go to not get fined.
Wait, and is Kappa not to get fined? Oh, wait, you get fined?
If you don't go to chapter, you get like fined and stuff.
Okay, wait, hold on. Maybe Daddy Gang like knows what the fuck is going on, but I need you to slow down. First of all, what is if you didn't go to chapter?
If you didn't go to chapter, you would get fined, or like if you couldn't. Chapter is like once a week. Something that could have been an email. I always went in there and I'm like, this could have been an email. But thank God I'm not studying for my test. This is awesome.
What do you do at chapter?
You sit there. I'm like, I honestly have like trauma blocked it out.
You're like, I don't remember because I don't want to remember.
No, it wasn't as culty as people make it sound, but there were some like things where we'd all have to sing together. It was like only like once a month where you would like do the chants together. No, literally, like I'm not even kidding.
Wait, do a chant. Come on.
I don't remember it.
Oh,
I swear I
Kappa,
don't.
Kappa, 1, 2, 3.
Well, those
Kappa,
were
Kappa,
that's rush week, and
Oh.
anything you see on TikTok that looks that insane is literally like the.
No.
It was an experience, and I will say I wouldn't go back and change it, but like once you're out of it, you're like, that is kind of crazy. We paid to be in it. We paid a lot of money to be in it. And if you didn't go to things, you'd get fined. But I did meet my best friends.
Oh.
And I mean, like my sorority had 300 girls in it though. So you're not going to like everybody.
Oh my God.
Obviously. Like, I think that's kind of what they portray is like, oh my God, we're the best of friends. If you're a Kappa Delta, then it's family. And while I don't disagree with that, but it's just like, it's hard to get 300 girls to get along.
Yeah.
But I met my very best friends through that. Like my best friend, Natalie, we met the first day of Rush, and like, we are inseparable. She lives in Nashville. Like,
wait, that's amazing.
And there's like so many others that I met through Katie. But it was definitely like being in a sorority in Georgia is exactly what you would think it is.
What was your type in college? Like, what guys you're going for?
Douchebag.
Oh, fuck.
No,
honesty?
I'm just, that's not on purpose. But there's a through line with
You're like, and then it kept going out of college, which we're still unpacking.
In college, loved an athlete.
Oh my God,
loved
didn't
an
we all?
athlete. College or professional, didn't care.
Oh my God, Megan. Hold on. Rewind. Hold on. Okay, so you weren't going for the frat boys.
No.
And so what sports on campus did we infiltrate?
Football.
See, I didn't have a football team. What the fuck? I had soccer and hockey was like the main thing in Boston. Okay, the football boys.
It was brief though. And then baseball too.
Okay.
Different college though.
Okay.
I dated a baseball boy that played at a different college.
How was that?
It was an experience.
Did he cheat on you?
Yes.
Like, it's like a rite of passage.
Can I be honest with you though? He's my favorite ex.
Really?
Because he came around and apologized for his actions and was like, you know what? I did treat you like shit. I was immature. And I can respect that.
I can respect that too. It's like when they really like push you so down in the dumps to at least apologize, because some of them act like you're crazy, even if you like find the nudes on the phone and like that somehow got there.
Like speaking of that. So I had found a nude on a phone, and he said it was from a long time ago, whatever. Actually, I didn't find it. He was like going through his Snapchat, and then it just like comes up. You know what I mean?
How old
and you're
is
like,
man?
what was that?
Wait, and this is in college?
This was in college.
Okay.
So I was like, what was that? And whatever lie he told, I believed him.
Of course. You're like, oh my
And
God,
then
babe, don't worry.
There was more evidence that I was in a shower and I saw this like long piece of brown hair on the wall of the shower, and I convinced myself
that you were going brown.
No, that his hair.
No,
I convinced myself that strand of hair came off his head.
Megan, I thought you were gonna say you were combing through your own hair, being like, there must be one piece of brown coming through. Bitch. What?
Yeah,
no.
It was a low point for me. And the best part is, and like I will be, out of all my exes, like I swear he's one of my favorites, because he's just, him and I, it was an immature relationship. I think you look back at college and you're like, we were stupid, we were having fun, and it was never that serious. And so that's how I view him.
Wait, is he the one that you found the news on his phone?
Yeah.
Got it.
But
So that's how
was-
you found out he was cheating.
Yeah, it was, or that's how I like had an inkling. And then
But can I just pause you there? I think that's a really, really good moment for us women to look at, like, when we get mad at our friends for not leaving their like piece of shit boyfriends that we all know they're cheating. Like, think about what you just said. This man has short brown hair and you find a 22-inch long brown extension curled up in the shower and you're like, it must be Brad's. Like, it must be
it's gotta be his.
like the delusion.
He would never do that to me. He loves me. He said he loves me.
This has to be his hair. It's the delusion run so deep we can't even be mad. It's like you are
And
blinded until you get out.
You live and you
Okay,
learn.
what were you gonna say?
So I'm not a phone looker througher.
Okay.
But I purchased his Apple Watch.
Okay.
So I looked through the Apple Watch.
Hold on. No, Megan. What's worse? That
I bought it. So it was my watch to go through.
the genius sitting across from me, I have never been more impressed.
And you know what? You know what I did? I sent him a picture. I was supposed to meet him somewhere. I was still
Okay.
getting ready. He had to go early.
I'm like crying
I
out of happiness. I'm literally like,
I
she's
sent
genius.
him a picture of the Apple Watch and the text that proved that my suspicions were correct.
Mhm.
And then he starts calling me a million times. I have packed up all of my belongings, put them in my 2010 Mustang at
Mhm.
the time,
Oof, girl.
and I went to the pool.
What?
And I waited for him to get home.
Wait. No. I need you to rewind because my brain just blacked out. And then she drove away. Hold on. You, what?
I sent him the proof. So he had to go somewhere. I was supposed to meet him. I sent him, he left his Apple Watch.
Okay.
So I was like, this is God's plan.
Right.
So we're going to go through. I sent him the pictures, no caption, no nothing. I just sent it to him.
What are the pictures?
It's just text where they're like late, like they went out and like, there's like, oh, your door's locked, like that sort of stuff.
Fucking.
So I send him that. No reaction. He's calling me a million times. I don't answer. I wait until he's done at his event and has to come home and deal with me. And where does he find me? All of my shit packed in my car, and I am laying by the pool lounging.
Are you like,
At
are you in a
this point,
bikini?
Okay, can I preface this? I was in college listening to Call Her Daddy at the time.
No.
I think this is your doing.
You're listening to my voice be like, get a match, burn his home down,
I know.
smile and take a
I
selfie.
was like,
as-
leaving right now is not good enough.
No, you need to like relish in it. Just
Yeah.
like, hi, babe. The crazy eyes. Like, did you get my
Hi,
text?
I've been waiting for you to come home. And honestly, can I be really honest?
Yes.
I simped and I stayed that night.
Megan.
This is okay. This is what I'm talking about though. Like being able to live life and go through college and be delusional and dumb
Gorgeous.
has made me the person I am. to realize that like it's okay to be that dumb because one day you will grow up and be 26 years old and laugh at that.
I am so appreciative of your honesty because you're just like, I appreciate it. You're not too cool to be like, bitch, I stayed. Like, absolutely. I made him dinner
He
that
said
night.
it. No, I'm like so easily manipulated. Like,
What was his lie?
what was? See, I don't even remember, but
Oh.
it must have been good.
What
I
did you-
think honestly, you know what it was, which now I have like a song that correlates, which this song wasn't even written about the situation, but it correlates, was like, I knew if I left, I would have to go home and I wasn't supposed to be home. So my mom would ask me why I was there and then I have to get the mom involved.
Oh.
So I have a song called Mom, I Lied on my new record, which is
Yes.
not about this situation because he's sweet angel. We love him. This is about a different guy, but
He's a sweet angel. We love him.
okay, no, now.
Wait,
Okay, at the time, okay, we were mad at him for a
You
long
love
time.
all of your exes. You love the Snapchat baby boy with the nudies. You
Oh,
love
no,
the man. Does it say man?
No. Okay, I take it back. We don't love him.
Oh.
But compared to the rest.
Oh, it just keeps getting worse. I love how Megan's like, and I just like am the woman I am today because it got better. You're like, hold my shit, actually, Alex. The Mustang has nothing on than what I'm about to share with you. Okay, did you unpack the Mustang alone? Did you do it like you
I
were
think
moving
I
in
left
together?
the next day, and honestly, shortly after that, our relationship was never the same, and
Okay.
so it did take like 2 months, and then after that big event, it was never the same.
I will say, when you are close with your mother, there's nothing worse. Like, I did the same where I found out a guy was cheating on me. And I was just like, I would rather stay than tell my mom right now because I'm not ready for her
Right.
to know and the wrath of like her to protect me. I need to like live in the delusion just a little bit longer.
And like I haven't decided if I'm really done yet. So when I tell my mom, it's over.
It's over.
Like Back to my first
Stop.
boyfriend.
Oh my God.
When I said I was gonna like text him, my mom was like, I will turn your phone off. And my mom like monitored my text messages.
You're still on the family plan. She's like, I will cut the cord
Yeah.
if you even try. Oh, wow. I really love that about your mom, though, because she's trying to keep you honest with yourself of like, you deserve better. But you're like, I don't want better right now, Mom. This feels perfect.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. So that was college. And what are we? This is like sophomore, junior.
That was sophomore-ish, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever like the same guy as any of your sorority sisters? Or no? You were like,
No.
you were out in the field and they were with the
I
frat boys.
actually dated guys usually. Like, I didn't actually date any guy at Georgia ever. Like, they were always elsewhere.
I'm not going to lie. That is probably the best way to do it. So you can kind of keep your own shit over there and like not have to
Right.
deal with them on campus. And it's a better way to go about it. I did the same exact thing. Actually, is it a better way to go about it? It's absolutely not. It's actually makes them be 10 times shadier, but it seems fun. Okay. What professional sports were we dabbling with in college, sweetie?
Can I play the fifth on that?
I thought you were about to look at me. I don't know why. Okay, can I be honest? You just gave me a look that I thought you were about to be like, I have a funny story. We have talked to the same man before. I'm like, I wouldn't put
I
honestly.
actually have a story for that at a later date.
Oh.
We do know a same hockey man.
Wait, say it to me and we're going to cut it. Who?
You swear.
I promise on my life. I don't want it out there either. I'm married. Okay, all of that is cut. Daddy thing. I'm
Anyway.
sorry, I just blue balled you, but we do know a similar athlete, and it is not Slim Shady. He doesn't play that sport. No.
Yeah.
I think he's like a neurotic sociopath.
I wouldn't
Put it past.
disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to hear the story afterwards because girl. Okay, we need to talk about college because I think like we were just talking about, you are having a normal life and all of a sudden in college your life changes. And like from what I was doing my research on, and I want you to tell the whole story, like this wasn't a planned thing, right? This kind of just happened that all of a sudden your career took off. Tell us the full story if you can, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll try to make this brief because
Okay.
it's long. But so like I said, I grew up playing music with my family. So I would post videos on Instagram sometimes of like our covers, and if the harmony sounded good, I'd post that. And so when I got to college and I was in the sorority, I was known as like the country singer just because I didn't even write songs. I was just singing country songs with my family. So everyone was like, that's her. And so for one of our philanthropy events, we hired John Langston, which he's a country artist, and we used all of our budget on him. So we didn't have money for an opener, but they were like, Megan is the country singer. She can surely get up there and
do her
entertain
thing.
people for 20 minutes before John Langston comes on. So me, my dad, and my brother played that gig. We played 3 cover songs. I think it was like 2 Miranda Lambert songs and 1 Casey Musgrave song. And at that show, Chase Rice is there. So of course he was at the sorority, right?
Of course, Chase, of course.
Shout out Chase. He saw me perform there and was like, I have a show at the Georgia Theater next month that isn't sold out. If you bring all of these hot girls to the Georgia Theater, you can open for me first of 3. The only condition is that you write your own song because I don't want you to perform covers. That's weird. And so I wrote 1 song to be able to do that, and the rest were covers. So I had 30 minutes. And ever since I played that show, like it completely changed everything. And I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. I don't know how I'm going to make this happen, but we're going to do it. So.
Dude, that is so crazy that like it was like a hobby of yours that you're like, I do this fun thing with my family, and then all of that. Was that crazy for your family to be like you're taking off when it was kind of like your guys' like fun hobby thing together?
Yeah, like it was very surreal for my family to like see me perform at the Georgia Theater because that's like an iconic venue in Athens, and for it to happen like so quickly. It was my freshman year. But even throughout college, you know, like I also like never skipped class. I was very into school. So I was very focused on schoolwork. So I really didn't write that much in college. I really didn't start writing all the time until COVID. So even in college, like I was getting gigs and I was playing at the local restaurant for tips and literally like for 10 people. But it wasn't like, oh, she's doing it. Because it was also like, well, there's 10 people here and they're all your friends.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Wait, I'm so fascinated though, because if you weren't always writing songs, like what was that like first songwriting process like for you when you had to like sit down and start to figure out like what your sound was and your voice?
It's really interesting because I have no idea. I like just sat down with a guitar and I was like, okay, you have to write a song. The first song I wrote was called Stay a Memory. And it was like, of course, like a fuck you song. It's like stay in memory and don't come back. And that's kind of the vibe of my music now. So I feel like I've always had that kind of like empowering, confident, like vibe to my songwriting. And then my junior year, I feel like I got my heart broken pretty bad, and I started writing songs for like therapeutic purposes. And it was like, ever since then, it's just been easy. Like I learned how to write by myself, and I always tell young songwriters, like, if there's anything you need to do, it's learn to write by yourself, because you have a point of view, you know what you want to say, and if you can sit down and finish a song, then like you've got it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, is like what I love so much about your music is you can tell that you are personally writing it, and I appreciate when it's obviously very relatable because you're going through like a lot of shit that like women go through, aka heartbreak. And when I'm listening to your songs, I have to ask, like, what would you consider your biggest heartbreak?
My biggest heartbreak. Like,
what was the worst one?
My biggest heartbreak, like, I think there's like a few that are tied. It's guys I didn't date. You know, that sounds so dramatic, but like I said, I'm very sensitive, and I guess you could say dramatic. So what I've created in my head is always so much better and hard to let go of than what actually happened. Like with the guys that I've truly dated, like we see it through till we like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like by the time it's like, we're done. Okay. We are handshaking, like
peace.
But it's the guys I feel like that have broken my heart the most are the ones that like I never even like officially dated.
It's like the situationships where you are like, half of the relationship is you like laying in bed and like fantasizing about like what you'll be, and half of the things you think about and fantasize, they never even happen.
Or like they've showed you who they could be, and so in your brain you create an entire scenario of what has not and will not happen.
It's actually so painful. And when you say it like that, though, it does make more sense. You're right. Like when you're in long-term relationships, you go through everything together almost.
Right.
And by the end, like I actually kind of understand when you're like the college guys that you were like, I love him, like he's great. Yeah, because you lived a whole like experience with him, and it was like it was time to move on. The situationships where you're like, are we something? Are we not? I feel like your wife one day, and then I feel like trash the next day. It's a motherfucking mindfuck. Are you someone that like can immediately get over someone though, or are you like on someone for a while?
I feel like I usually sit in my sadness for a while. Especially now, like I don't have time to date guys. I feel like moving on in college was easier because you can just go out and meet some hot guy, or like I used to be on Raya, so it's like you're just entertaining yourself with other dudes or whatever, like, and then it's like I don't have time for any of that now though, so I feel like
okay, but do you ever feel like you put yourself in a situation because you know it's gonna make a great song?
Alex. There are times where my friends have scolded me and I've been like, hee. I'm like, no, the content we are going to get from this is going to be spectacular. Bear with me.
Okay, to be fair, I think when I look back at a lot of my show, I'm like, I maybe stayed in things longer because I was like, God, this is going to be a good episode. And at least we're getting to like put it somewhere where like a lot of times you hear girls be like doing it for the plot, but our plot turns into a song or an episode that like is entertaining and fun and can help people. So you know what? We can be the vessel of heartbreak, and we can just keep going through it, and then people are going to feel better about their lives. Exactly. So I don't judge you. I hope you know I've done it too. So I was asking because I was like, oh, I wonder if she's like me, where we just like stay in things like that.
There will be times where like there was a situation not that long ago where I did something and I texted my manager and I said, we're going to get a good song out of this. Also, make me a therapy appointment for tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
Can you?
No.
I can't. Give me a hint. You were going through it.
Yeah, it was just like it was a fresh out the slammer by Taylor Swift situation.
I wonder if I know who you're talking about.
No?
No? Maybe. I'm going to get there. Don't worry. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. You're not done. Do you believe in this, like the classic saying, in order to get over someone, you need to get under someone new?
I think you should go to therapy.
No.
I think.
You're like, actually, therapy. You're like, what I know in my brain is therapy. The reality of what I do,
Well, I don't think that always helps because I think like I've tried that before and then it's like you end up just missing them more.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it maybe works out, but I feel like for the most part it doesn't. And for me, like when I go to therapy and then I tell my therapist how I'm getting treated, that usually like helps me get over it.
Right. They're like, that's why
she's
it's
like,
so rough.
Let me bring you back down to earth and like let you realize how you're supposed to be treated. I'm like, oh shit.
That's the worst when they're like, so let me say back to you what you just said to me. And I'm like, no. And she's like, so you just said he did this, and this to you. And you called him the next morning? And I'm like,
I'm like, of course.
Of course.
He said he was sorry.
Dude, that is humbling.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I agree though. Like, it's very rare if you're moving on from someone that you can find someone that will actually make you forget about the person that you're hung up on.
Right.
That's fucking rare. Like, I maybe in my life have had it once and then it like also fades anyways.
Right. And then you're with the person, you're still thinking about the other person. So it's like, this is not good
fun
for anyone involved.
No. Okay, let's talk about Megan now though.
Okay.
Because we did, I did catch when you said, oh, it got worse. Just for a second.
It got worser.
It got worser. It got real worser. You get out of college, and what happened after college? Did you get cheated on by another?
I did, absolutely. Of course I did, Alex. So there was this guy. I moved to Nashville right after college, literally during COVID. So that was like a horrible time to move anywhere, but I was just dying to get after it. So I can't remember if it was, I guess I had a boyfriend during COVID. That doesn't count.
Okay.
It was like a long distance thing. That was just like really stupid. To try to date someone long distance during COVID. I don't know what.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
But after that, I dated a guy in Nashville, and well, actually, we weren't officially dating.
Those are the worst.
And like, I know I'm saying this story and everyone's going to think it's about someone, but I'm just going to say that it's not
Morgan
this
Wallen.
Person. It's not him. This is not this story. This is someone else.
That's good for the next story.
Okay, perfect. But this right now is not about him. I dated some guy. He had a whole girlfriend the whole time. I was with him every single day. He had a girlfriend.
Megan.
He wasn't just cheating.
The trust issues that are coming out of this episode.
Dude. And like, I could not believe it. He was like low-key insane though. Like, when I first met him, he called my friends into the bathroom and was crying about the feelings he had for me. Like, there was something not right up here.
Nope.
And that's who Sleep on My Side is about. So I have a song called I Sleep on My Side and You Sleep with Everyone. That's about him.
Dude, your voice in person is insane. It's like, what?
Thanks.
What?
But yeah, so we weren't officially dating because I wouldn't date him because I had the feeling that I, got. He had a girlfriend the entire time. I get a hey girl DM.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Hey
Not
girl
a hey
DM.
girl.
And she's like, I think you're talking to my boyfriend. And I was like, your boyfriend? And then once I cut things off with him, I immediately cut things off because I was like, that is insane. I'm with you every single day. And you have a girlfriend? Like a whole girlfriend, not even just, and they've been dating for like years.
Bye. I can't. Men.
So.
Did you confront him?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I was like, literally never speak to me again. I know we're not together, but we're breaking up.
Right.
So this man sends me flowers.
No.
The girl is trying to get information out of me. Like, I think you're being crazy. Like, he's not actually with you. And I'm like, girl, I'm telling you, girl to girl, he sent me flowers. She was like, no, he didn't. He would not do that. He just said he didn't send you flowers. And I was like, and this guy, like, he met my family. Not on purpose, but just because there was a wedding during New Year's and I needed a date.
Classic.
So, like, wasn't on purpose,
right.
But like he like accidentally met my whole family. So it like wasn't just casual. And he had a whole girlfriend.
But the problem is, and I think this is a learning lesson for all of us, is the girl that's like, no, I think you're being crazy, blah, blah, blah. She's in her hair in the shower phase where she believes. She's like, he must be telling me the truth. She's a liar. Like, she clearly probably figured it out one day.
I felt bad, and I literally was like, genuinely, run.
That
because
sucks.
if he can be that scary to you, clearly he's manipulating you really badly.
Yes.
He's trying to lie to me too, but I've already been manipulated by Shower Man, my first boyfriend, the junior year guy. I'm like,
girl, the veteran.
I'm like, girl, I'm watching out for you. You need to run.
Dude.
I think since I like see her on my For You page sometime, I think since then she has moved on.
Oh my, I thought you were gonna say they're married. I'm like, it's a classic. It's a
No.
classic. Damn. Okay.
But yeah, that was a situation. And that was another thing where, like, looking back, I was like, he cried to my friends about liking me so much. I think screws were loose. Some sort of manipulation thing. I'm not sure what's going on there, but
that's when you know, like, if it's too early on and he's like sobbing, you're like, first of all, why are you crying? Like, it's not that deep. We haven't even said we loved each other, and we're also not even dating yet. So let's reel in the emotions. What is this act?
And
it's a
my
performance.
friends were confused because they were like, that's really sweet, but what's going on?
Right. And then clearly
yeah,
it's all a facade to like get you more attached and like get you more into it. And then meanwhile, he has a full ass fucking family at home and you're like, damn.
That was insane.
Okay. So Megan.
Hey.
Did you date Morgan Wallen?
Never exclusively.
Yeah. And goodbye. Okay.
Okay. Oh my God, thank you so much. It's been so much fun.
And goodbye, everyone. Let's go talk off camera. Okay, interesting. Not exclusively. So I think it's obvious, and that's why like I do appreciate you being honest, because like I feel like everyone kind of knows.
And I have so tried to avoid that in every single interview I've ever done.
But you're here.
But we're here now, and time has passed, and all is well. So
okay. Is your song Tennessee Orange about him?
I will not sing my songs about ever
because just did a little. Okay.
Oh,
maybe.
That's true. Yeah, we'll never name. See.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Okay, you won't confirm. Do you think he has any songs about you?
I have no idea.
Lies. Okay, why did the relationship end?
Okay, so it was never a relationship. Okay. I will. Here's what I'll tell you though, because I haven't told anyone this ever.
Okay, here we go.
So him and I met in 2020.
Okay.
John Langston actually introduced us. And I was a senior in college. COVID hadn't happened yet. His Dangerous album wasn't even out yet. So we were friends for a long time. So it's what, 2024? That was 2020.
Yep.
So we're friends for a long time.
Okay.
We were not just friends. And now we're friends.
I love that answer. Okay. So you guys had like a little thing. A little thing, but you weren't officially dating.
Yeah, no, never officially dating.
But as we talked about, Megan, those can be the worst.
Yeah, I will say, if anyone's like overly sensitive and will get their heart broken and like, yeah, it's me.
How did you keep something like that private?
It's not that hard. I feel like he's a very private person.
You think?
Yeah.
So you kind of just like maneuvered around.
Well, yeah. It was not like I said, we weren't exclusively dating ever.
Okay.
And I think both of our schedules, like we have insane, like when we try to hang out, it's like, okay, we have this one day of the whole month where we're both maybe in town,
right? And
then someone's got something going on. It was like that sort of thing. But him and I are friends. So.
I think that's great. Obviously, you know I had to ask. I
know.
I don't want to make you uncomfortable. And I was
know.
Come on, Megan, I had to ask.
I know, and honestly, because he's such a private person, it just feels like awkward talking about it.
I think that you gave me exactly what we needed to know. We can move on. Okay, are you single or are you in a relationship right now?
I'm so single.
How is single life?
I love it. I sleep so good.
Oh,
like nobody's son is stressing me out. Like I'm in REM sleep every night. You know what I mean?
Love.
And I feel like all of my free time is being spent with my girlfriends.
Okay.
And I can just really like enjoy being in the moment. I feel like I said, I'm very sensitive. Yep. So when I do date someone, like if we're having problems or whatever it may be, like it really does affect me. Like I'm someone where like my mood immediately is affected. So that's why like I have a song called Hell of a Show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like really hard because I would literally cry before I went on stage. I would perform and then I would go cry myself to sleep. And it's like, that was very difficult for me. So I'm way happier single for now, at least. I feel like everything is so new still. So I'm enjoying not having to worry about that part of things.
I feel like that was something that I appreciated when Taylor Swift released the song I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, that like all of the fans for the first time were like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like these musicians can go on stage and like give so much of themselves and be just like so just like happy and performative, right? And like because you know people are there to see you and you don't want to like bring your emotions into it. But it was so helpful to be like, yeah, no, you guys are also human beings. Like when you are on stage and you've been crying like up until you literally get shoved out there. Explain those type of shows to me.
Well, it's one of those things where in my song Hell of a Show, I say, keep it together. I can keep it together for the room full of people here who love me better. And it's like, for those 90 minutes or however long I'm on stage, I am like genuinely happy.
Yeah.
And to see like little girls, their eyes light up and they have I Love the Girl in the Mirror shirts on. It's like, it almost makes me crying over a guy. It's like, I can't believe that I'm letting him take away from this moment. So I feel like it's tough because like those moments right before you go on stage, you're literally like, holy shit, I was just crying.
Yes.
And like, I want to die right now. But there's like people that are chanting my name and I got to put it on. But like while it's happening, it's like, I'm just grateful anytime I can be on stage because I feel the love from my fans. And it's almost like a reminder of like someone one day is going to appreciate me and isn't going to treat me like shit. And will make these moments, like they will be here for these moments and not ruin them.
I love that. And I think you're so right. It's like being in front of all of your fans must be just like a euphoric feeling. And it kind of puts things in perspective of like, you are so talented. You're so incredible. You're so smart. Like you're funny. Like even sitting with you now, I'm like, oh, I feel like we're friends. Like you're a great time. Like the right person will come. And those type of moments, as hard as they are right before, it's like it puts in perspective like, oh, you're gonna be fine.
Right.
Have you figured out, like if I was to put all of your exes in a lineup, like do you have a type, personality wise, looks wise? Like what are we working with?
Personality wise, I love when someone can match my humor.
Yep.
I realized with my last boyfriend that humor is very important to me.
You're like, I was falling asleep at dinner, Alex. Let's put it that way.
And yeah, I love humor. That'll get me real quick.
Okay.
Like what happened with some of my exes is that like I would be so mad at them and they would know that humor is my weakness. So all they had to do was make me laugh. And then I'm like, we're so back.
They literally make you giggle as you're like crying. And then you're like,
but we're like so back. So I think humor's number one. I also realized like I want a guy. I realized that ego, like I'm older now too. And my last relationship, like real relationship, I would say was like one of my first real adult relationships. Okay. And I can't deal with any sort of ego.
It's tough.
I felt like I wasn't being like supported. So that was like a thing. Like he didn't want to listen to my music.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know about his job.
Wait, hold on.
Through therapy, I'm realizing that that's an ego thing. And I'm like, oh, we can't do that.
Hold on. First of all, even you just like, you on TikTok and your acoustics, like I was literally talking to all the girls and every girl was like, okay, like I just like wish she would sing for like 2 seconds so I can hear her voice. You just did it earlier and I'm like, you have an insane voice. The perks of dating a fucking musician is being like, babe, sing for me. And you get to be like serenaded. Yeah. And he didn't want to hear your fucking perfect voice. No, he
didn't. Well, there was like a time where, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too into it, but what sucks about therapy is that like when you get into therapy, you realize that the problems are deeper than you.
Yep.
And it's like, then you just feel bad. So that's kind of, back to my type though. I think I need funny. Yep. I easily get blinded by abs and height. I've done a lot of dumb shit for like 6'5".
I love that. I've seen on TikTok, it's like you rank what's most important to you. Like some girls are super into like the arms or the back or the eyes, the teeth. You're like abs.
Oh my God, I'm gonna fold.
You're literally in a fight. He cheated and he just like takes off his shirt and you're like, we're back.
So yeah, height too. But like I think as far as like, I'm not looking for a relationship, but if I was to be looking for someone, I think they would have to be funny, supportive, and I think those are like the main two.
Well, I think that something that I can immediately tell because you're so successful and you're this like young, gorgeous woman is like, I can imagine you're going to need to find a man that's so secure within himself because to have someone across from you, and I've had it where like you're a successful woman, that already is intimidating to people, even if they're not dating you. Like people are going to like talk shit about you. They're going to find a reason not to like you because like people get jealous or they're intimidated, whatever the angle is. And so for a man to not be able to be like, that's my fucking girl, and like proud of you, and instead like trying to make you feel insecure and like push you down and like make you not feel like you're like thriving, that can get so fucking toxic and can really impact you.
Well, that's how I felt. Anytime I would be like proud of myself, it was like he felt like he needed to humble me. And like, yeah.
Dude.
And like, even so, I got nominated for some ACM awards.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, you did.
I texted him. This was when we were like broken up, but still trying to make things work. Cause like I said, I will be a dead horse till it's
You're there till the end.
Especially dead. And he was like, oh my God, that's so great. Congrats. And then it's like, oh my God, I have a crazy day at work. Like just immediately. Yeah.
Not
and
like,
so,
oh my God, babe, let me take you out for dinner. We're going to toast. This is so fun. Like, let's celebrate tonight. Like,
and I realized that that is going to be important to me. But I also then with fucking therapy, it's like, I do understand that it would be hard to date me. My personal life revolves around my work life, which is not for everyone. And I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Like anytime I get to hang out with you one-on-one because we're chilling is because my career is not in the way, which is almost never.
Right.
So I feel like that's why dating right now is just like really hard because I don't want to let up on my career. I feel like I'm all in it right now and I'm so much enjoying it. And I told my therapist, I was like, am I being crazy? And she was like, you're 26. Why would you not be all in your career?
Dude, I was also going to say, like, I remember feeling like I was never going to find a guy that could like handle what I was doing. And I was the same way. I'm like, I'm literally not stopping. Like I have so much I want to fucking do. I'm so motivated and I want to push myself. And then I promise you, it's once you just like get in that mindset, the right person will come along that like you're so good in what you're doing and you're so not willing to waver and like have a couple months where you get swept off your feet and you're not focused. That person will come in because no one else will be able to get in at one point because you're so locked in yourself. And that's when you're going to find someone that you're like, oh fuck, like there he is cheering me on. And then he will probably have his own shit. I think it's important for people. And it doesn't mean career. Like whatever fulfills someone, you have to have your own shit to feel confident in yourself, to actually look at someone like you and be like, I am only happy for you. There's no jealousy. There's no like ego issue where I'm feeling like I have to like trump you. And that is when you're like, God bless. Hold on. Therapy. When did you get into therapy? I
think about a year ago. Yeah. And I actually got into therapy because my producer is Christian Bush. He's half of Sugarland, you know? And he was someone that was like, you need to get a therapist. He kept saying that to me. I think I would come in with like crazy ass stories and he'd be like, you need a therapist.
You're like, great song, but let's also.
I know, like we're so happy. We love this song. You need therapy. And he kept saying it and I kept not doing it. And so he contacted my manager and they booked the appointment for me. So I basically forced me to go. And I think that's the only way I was going to go though.
Interesting.
And I really got into it as like maintenance because like I said, I lived like 22, 23 very normal years of my life. And to suddenly be, you know, shot up into the spotlight, that's why I needed therapy. Because I'm like, I didn't know how to handle. It's just like having everyone talk about you is like the most terrifying was the most terrifying thing ever. And yeah, I mean, like all of the Tennessee Orange interviews were like my first interviews as an artist. So I was like scarred. I haven't done like a proper podcast since like my career took off because of that. Because I was so terrified of interviews because I was like, that's all they wanted to talk about. And I get it, of course. But I was like terrified.
I think though, and I appreciate you bringing that up because when this happens, anyone, like whatever it is, when you get any type of like publicity or notoriety, I have a lot of empathy for people because it's like there's no playbook that someone hands you of like, this is how to deal with it. And clearly there's no playbook because we've seen so many stars or comedians or musicians or personalities online like either flop or succeed, but everyone has a bumpy road at some point because it's like navigating millions of people watching you and like now everyone wants to know, like me asking like who you're dating and what you're doing. Like that's odd, but that's also what comes with it. And so like, I think you're doing an incredible job. Like, I think you seem like you're super grounded, but I agree. I think like getting into therapy is important for me. Even I remember being like, all these people are talking about me, and like whether it was people saying something that wasn't true about me or saying something that was true, but like I wanted to defend myself, or I didn't know, like it's endless and you kind of don't know how to handle it, and you can do it any way you want. It's just a dance, because most of the time it isn't going to fully portray you as a whole human being. It's like quick little things people see on the internet. And I can imagine you're like, I have more to give than Tennessee Orange. Like I have but that's all that people cared about in the moment. It probably felt like to you, but it's like you're growing and you're changing and you're learning, and like you've got fucking incredible music.
Thanks. So yeah, like since then it's been better, but it was definitely like therapy was, I just think necessary too, because I want to stay grounded. I want to like have check-ins and be like, we need to remain sane and mentally healthy.
That's also though, I think, how people last in this industry. Like I have so many people that come into this house, and I have had a lot of people that I'm like, oh, I'm shocked. You're quite rude, and like I didn't expect that. Or I'm like, holy shit, you are one of the biggest stars and you're the most lovely person. Like it goes a long way to like keep yourself in check and be like not an egomaniac. And like how do your parents and your family feel about all of your success?
They just, I mean, freak out. I played a show in St. Augustine that was like at the time my biggest headlining show. And after the show, their jaws are just on the floor. My dad's like crying through the whole thing. They're just like, when did this happen? Dude. Like, and they're just like their neighbors will come up to them, like where they live in Savannah. And like, they're like, my mom's like, oh yeah, that's our daughter. Like just telling my whole life story. I'm like, oh God, maybe we should do some
like mom PR training. Mom, shut up, mom.
Yeah.
No, that's
but
cute.
They're definitely like not used to it, which I feel like I'm still getting used to it too, but they're especially
not used to
like,
it.
what the heck? Even like on this, like my mom's like, tell Alex I said hi.
Oh my God, we need to tell her selfie after this. We're gonna be like, hi mom, we're here. No, I think it's amazing. I think you're doing a great job. I think obviously with songwriters too, like when you are writing about your love life, it's going to open up questions for people, and you are just gonna have to decide like how much you want to share and how much you don't want to share. And that's like, you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you typically make the first move, or do you wait for the guy to?
I wait for the guy.
Love. Yeah. Okay. You've never made the first move.
I have made the first move.
Yeah.
I would say right now, you gotta come to me.
You gotta
I'm
come.
way too busy.
I get it. You're like making effort.
I don't have time to like scour for
I get
men.
it. No, I get that. What is like an immediate turn off for you?
What's your Snapchat?
Are people still fucking asking you that?
They are. They are. And one guy asked me, once I said I don't have a Snapchat, he asked again. And I was like,
babe, I deactivated it when I was 16. Like, leave me alone. No. I feel like guys are so shady on Snapchat. That's like a warning flag also.
I know. I was like, at what age do we stop?
Do we stop? Now. 26, you stop.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your best and worst quality in a relationship?
Best quality, I would say I'm very loyal. Worst, I can't cook. Like, I'm pretty useless in that.
Okay, Megan, that is like fucking fine. Like, some bitches come on here and are like, oh God, let me tell you. You're like, I can't cook.
No. There's probably a worse one. Let me think.
No, it's okay. If that's it, hype yourself up. I'm like, yes, bitch. Order in a steak dinner. You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, I'm loyal. I think that's maybe a question for my ex-boyfriend.
We call them right now. What do you think all your ex-boyfriends would say about you?
Most of my exes, like my proper boyfriends, don't end on good terms. They get blocked. My last one actually deleted his entire Instagram.
What? Why were people finding him?
I'm not sure.
No.
That's none of my business why he did that. But
no. Why does it end on such bad terms?
I think it's one of those things where we probably should let it go before it gets to that point. And then it gets to a point where we're just like, This last time though, my last relationship, I will say was like a very mature, like once we were on the phone and once it was over, I've never talked to him again. And that's just like, is what it is. Like he had done something like over and over that I had asked him to just be more conscious of.
What?
He had a girl best friend.
No.
And okay, I get girl best friends from childhood because you probably hooked up in high school and it was really weird and you're like, we're never gonna do that again.
Okay, that's actually fair.
This was like 2-year girl best friend.
No.
And all I asked was if y'all, because I had felt a little weird about it.
Of course.
And I was just like, whenever y'all are together, just like send me a text, let me know, because something had happened when I was in Australia where I was having to track him. It's like a long thing. So I took him back after that. Like, I'm saying I got better. I never got better. I'm such a simp, Alex. I'm a simp.
I love how this is full circle. You're like, call my therapist. Call my fucking therapist.
No, I'm literally lover girl simp. Like, one thing about me, I'll give you 8,000 chances for you to show me that you're not the one.
Megan.
But anyways, this had to do with a girl best friend. All I wanted to know, I somehow was like, it's fine, because I did believe she was a nice girl.
Right.
I just was like, can you please just let me know when y'all are together? Once I found out, once again, he did not let me know that they were together. And so we were perfectly fine. Like, we were doing better. He does that, calls me, and I was like, yeah, this is like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like.
Right, because you're becoming crazy.
I become crazy. I'm like, it happened when it started in Australia. I was like, I'm across the world right now. It's a different day, and I'm tracking your ass. Like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to go perform for 25,000 people at this festival, and like, I'm worried about your damn location.
Oh, the South is coming out. I love how the accent just goes up when you're like, let me fucking tell you.
I know.
Oh, on my location, I'm obsessed. Oh my God, Megan. No, let me just validate you.
Now.
No, now I'm sweating for you. I also got chills though when you're like 25,000 people and I'm fucking tracking your ass. Like, it puts it in perspective. Like, these boys.
I'm literally just a girl.
No. Dude, that is fucked. And let me tell you what makes me mad is many things. What the fuck is wrong with you just being so chill and open, being like, just let me know when you're hanging out.
Right.
That's all you asked. You didn't say you're not being controlling. Like, you are not allowed to hang out. After the 6th time, I would then be like, I don't feel comfortable anymore. But you're being so chill and open, and he can't do you the decency. So then naturally, any fucking human being, if you tell someone to just tell you when they're doing it and they don't, you're being shady.
Right.
So what's happening when you're hanging out that you don't want me to know?
And like, it may have never been shady,
it
but
doesn't
it's
matter.
like, if you don't have the decency, I've just asked you to do a very simple thing for me.
The
and like,
disrespect.
it would make, and like, because you already broke my trust with the Australia thing, if we could build this back, you could build it back by letting me know. But because you like, and I feel like with therapy, how I've grown in that way, obviously I gave him a million chances, but once it was over, I was like, okay, you don't care about me or my feelings. And like, if I'm going to date someone right now, you got to be spectacular, because I'm so busy and this just isn't working. So it honestly ended amicably.
Yeah.
I don't know why he deleted his Instagram.
I was about to say. I love how you keep flip-flopping. You're like, no, we're friends. You're like, none of my exes and I are friends. You're like, I think I pretend that we're friends, but why did I block him? He deleted his Instagram.
Yeah.
There was a fire over on that side of the country, but it's fine.
I'm
it's fine,
insane, I guess.
No, it's totally fine. You know what? I think it's like you acknowledging all of this. It's like you're recognizing patterns and you're seeing it. Half the people that come in here, sometimes I'm like, wait, you realize that you're like completely aware of what you're doing. And I think it's awesome that you're now like, and I have a standard now because I'm working my ass off. Your new album, I just have to say, like, it's so incredible to see you put something out that is like so personal. And also I feel like everyone, like I said, everyone can relate. I'm listening to these things like, yes, oh my God, this has happened to me before. I appreciate it. What is the inspiration? Like, when you sat down to even start conceptualizing this album, what was the inspiration?
Literally my personal life. Like, every single one of these songs is inspired by my real life. So it was like, I write songs when I feel like I need to, like when I feel like it's literally therapy for me. I don't know, like, writing songs has saved my life over and over. Like, because I don't know what I would do with like those emotions. It's like, once I can write it down, then it's just a song. It's like, it's almost like it didn't even happen to me. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's even a healthy way to look at it.
No, but I think it is. It's like you pour it all out and then you're like,
and then it's like, okay,
well,
it can be done. And now that can be used to like heal people. And that is what, it's my story, but now it can also be other people's story. And I think, but yeah, for this album, it's literally about my life. Same as all of my songs. I literally shout out to everyone who inspired the album. I love you so, so much.
We also love you so, so much because it's fucking fire. Okay, the Daddy Gang is insane. And I feel like a lot of times I'll ask people like either what is your favorite song or what is for you the most meaningful song. And I know that's hard, but then they're going to go stream it. So what is the most, in your opinion, like a meaningful song to you on this album?
Meaningful, I would say Heaven by Noon. Yeah.
Can you like tell us a little bit about that writing process?
Yeah, so Heaven by Noon is a song about loss and grief, and it's like the feeling of you're happy that they're not in pain anymore, but you selfishly wish that they were still with us. And that song was inspired by my uncle who got killed on 9/11. He worked at the World Trade Center, and he worked on the 101st floor, and that that song was kind of written with my aunt in mind. And I just can't imagine, you know, having that happen to you, and it happened to a family member. And I know that music is very healing, so I'm happy that I wrote that song, and I'm happy that it's out in the world. And I know I was only 4 years old when that happened, but the way it's affected my family like forever and will always affect my family. I just had never written a song about loss, and I think that it was important to write. And yeah, we all miss my Uncle Dennis. So
I mean, that's so beautiful. I just got chills because I'm thinking about like everyone has that thing in their life and that person that they've lost. And I feel like to have a song that you can turn on when you're like missing that person, or you're like, sometimes like you want a good cry. Yeah. You know what I mean? And to be able to turn this on and be like thinking of that person. And I think that's what's so beautiful about songwriting and like what you're doing is like everyone's going to find their own angle in, but everyone's going to find an angle in, because like that is life. That is loss is life. You know what I mean? It's like everyone goes through it and everyone has their own experience with it. But like that is so powerful that you're someone that's now putting out a piece of work that like people in a beautiful way are going to cry to and slowly heal from. I think that's like incredible. It's amazing. It's literally amazing.
I think like we wrote it in a very general way. Like obviously you would never know that that's what the song is about, but that's why I just feel like in all aspects of my life, I turned to music, and that's not something I'd written about yet. So we decided to for this album.
I feel like you just did such an incredible job, and I feel like I'm happy I got to meet you, because obviously seeing you online and your songs, we see so much of you, but I fucking love you. I'm like,
I love you.
This was so much fun.
Like college Megan would have a stroke.
Dude, literally but that's so cool to like know that in college you were like living a normal life and your whole life changed, and now we're sitting here. Like I feel like people at home, this is like the story people fucking love. It's like literally anyone watching this right now, your life could change overnight. And I think that's 100%. Why like going after what you love and doing what you love, like don't let anyone fucking make you feel small, especially a little fucking dick that's like, I don't care about your fucking awards. Like, well, you should. And if you don't, bye, bitch.
Exactly.
Little dick energy.
And I know I said this earlier, but like to even in college, I know like Call Her Daddy was I was walking around campus being like, yeah, block him, wearing my Unwell hat and just listening to like bizarre stories. But to see like the brand that you've built, it was like so inspiring. And yeah, you're incredible. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I want last question to ask. That is actually weird though, to think like we were kind of at that same point when we're all like saying block him, and now growing together, like hearing you're in therapy, being like, okay, I need to change things up. Like that's what has also been so fun about this show is like growing with the audience and being like, for sure, we can be toxic as fuck. And there is no one better at literally.
And I personally think you have to be toxic in order to heal. Because if you're just healed, like,
what the fuck? Right, like what
boring. There's a time and place to be healed.
And trust me, the toxic will always like lightly be there, but it's not toxic. It's more just like a little bit of the crazy.
And if you are being toxic, you're aware.
Sometimes.
Shout out to therapy.
Sometimes Matt literally looks at me and is like, Alex, you're being like old, you stop it. I'm like, oh, sorry, I just wanted to feel something for a minute. Like sometimes the crazy comes out, but it's controlled crazy.
Agreed.
Because of therapy. Okay, last question. For anyone who is getting to know you today and is becoming a bigger fan, what do you hope they take away from this interview and learn about you?
I mean, I hope it draws them to my music. Yeah. I think that on my album, it feels just like living. I say it's like living as a 20-something-year-old, but it's also, I feel like anyone could find something that they want or like, and it's just about life. And so I feel like if you're a fan of mine, hopefully you get to know me better. I feel like it's hard. I try to let people get to know me, you know, on the internet and at my shows, but I feel like this is the first time I've like sat down after everything has happened. So I feel like this is, I hope everyone feels like they know me better, and maybe they
I
find
feel
a
like-
song they like.
I feel like I know you better. I love you even more. And your personality is fucking amazing. And you said before we started like talking, you were like, I don't know if I like my voice. You have a fucking amazing voice. Shut up.
It's so annoying.
No.
I'm not going to even be able to listen to this back. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Trust me, you crushed it. Thank you so much for coming on. This was like an honor. I'm so happy we
Thank
got
you
to meet
so
and hang out.
much.
I love you.
I love you.
Dude.